1 year. It's been a year with this watch already, and I didn't even realize it until I was looking back at some older footage. I have quite a few watches in my collection, but it's safe to say over the year, this one has received a lot of wrist time compared to some of my other pieces, and mainly because it's so simple and capable. This SPB453 is, for the most part, a black on black diver, with a few tricks up its sleeve when it comes to its dial and case, but I'll get to those a little later. It essentially presents a very neutral palette, which makes it easy to pair with whatever I wear, and I can simply slap it on and go about my day without overthinking things. It's one of my grab and go watches, something I lean towards when I can't really decide on which watch to wear, and it works well with my lifestyle, being under the radar so it doesn't really draw any attention and rugged enough to take on almost anything that could pop up during my day. Its black on black theme may seem a little boring for some, but that's exactly what I like about it. It offers a clean and classic composition, something that I miss from time to time, especially with all the colors and extravagant dials we see from so many brands these days. It's a nice reset when I wear and look at the watch, and is a great reminder of how a simple approach is sometimes all you need. With that being said, it does have a slight sunburst effect with brown highlights under bright lights that helps to alleviate the monotony if you do get bored, and is a nice touch that adds a bit of character. Even after a year, I sometimes forget that it even has this, and when it comes out, it's typically a welcome surprise. But if I'm honest, there have been times where I would have liked it to just have a plain black dial, as I do like that simplicity when it comes to this watch. Thankfully for me, the black appearance is what it will look like most of the time, so while there will be some variance in certain situations, it's an overall black dial with a sort of hidden brown accent. This watch, in my opinion, is one of Seiko's best looking watches from their current collection. It has both vintage and modern aesthetics that give it a timeless appeal, and even if you're unacquainted with the history surrounding the legendary 62MAS, the beauty in its architecture and design elements afford it a familiar yet subtle uniqueness in comparison to other divers and even Seiko's own diver offerings. It's a watch that's not overly Seiko, but at the same time completely is if you know the heritage behind it. It seemingly satisfies both Seiko fans and general watch fans, and it's executed rather well, giving us that 62MAS archetype with bevels and changes to the original dimensions to suit a wider modern audience, presenting a diver that ticks a lot of boxes. Now the case back does protrude quite a bit, but it's a well-proportioned watch overall, with a thin mid-case that hides that thickness when worn and really does feel like it just melts onto your wrist, something I've appreciated a lot over the year, especially since it's a diver, and is a big reason as to why I wear this more often than some of my other watches. Its compact size compared to many other Seiko divers fits and looks a lot better on my wrist, and in terms of Seiko's diver offerings in general, there aren't many like it, and this one is in that sweet spot size for a lot of people. The small dimensional changes they made from the previous generation do add up, and it does wear better. The adjustments were thought out, retaining the main shape and essence of the watch, and I think Seiko deserves more praise for this. They refined something that was good and made it a little better. Nothing drastic, but just enough to make a difference, and as a result, it's one of the better wearing watches in my collection, beating out the likes of my Omega Aquaterra, Rolex GMT, Zin 356 and Hamilton Khaki Field. It's not the lightest, quite hefty for its size in fact, but I like that because it is a dive watch, and despite the weight, it still feels comfortable to wear. Even with only 2 points of micro adjustment, it works for me because I only ever use 1 point when my wrists swell up or shrink anyway, so any more isn't really necessary in my case, and if there was something I'd want, it would be an on-the-fly mechanism to make things easier. The date window gets a lot of criticism, but I've never really had an issue with it to begin with, and I've become quite accustomed to it. I wouldn't say I prefer it over the 3 o'clock date, but I definitely don't mind it at all. And with this watch being a diver with a 3 o'clock crown, I like to view the placement of the date as a nod to Seiko's more iconic 4 o'clock crown position. The dye shield coating on the case and bracelet has held up well and has honestly been quite surprising. Originally, I thought dye shield was kind of a gimmick, but after a year of regular wear, there aren't as many scratches as I would have thought, and when I compare it to some of my other watches that I've owned for less than a year, it's showing a lot less wear, so I think it's safe to say it does help to protect against light scratches. The 6R55 has also held up well over the year, with mine now running at an average of plus 4 seconds a day, so it hasn't deviated much at all from when I first purchased it. Do keep in mind though, I don't keep my watches running all year, so they do get a break from time to time in my rotation. The water resistance rating of this watch is something overlooked, but is a major positive for me. I do enjoy swimming and love to bring a watch with me when doing so, and going to a beach is no different. It just feels a lot better and is more enjoyable for me when I have a watch on. It's currently my only watch with 300 meters of water resistance, and while it is overkill for most cases, it has been incredibly reassuring, meaning I don't really have to worry about the watch when I'm around water, and is the go-to timepiece when I know I'll be getting wet. As stated by Seiko, it's also their first non-saturation diver that features 300 meters of water resistance, which is a big deal. Even more so when you consider the size difference between their other 300 meter diver offerings. It's a great size with great water resistance, and this alone made me more enticed to buy the watch in the first place. Something I love and hate about this watch is its bezel insert. It looks great, especially paired with the dial, and its matte nature helps to show off the polished edge of the bezel and bevels of the case, but unlike the case, bracelet and crystal, it's prone to damage and scratches. Aluminium is soft, and it can get nicked from slight bumps. It's something that's happened to mine and is something that's hard to avoid. It's one of the downsides of aluminium, and it's often the reason why ceramic is the preferred choice. Down the line, when more scratches have accumulated, it won't look that bad, as I think wear on aluminium inserts adds character and individuality to the watch. But for now, this one little nick does stick out like a sore thumb, and while some might not even notice it, I definitely do because I know it's there. I've enjoyed my year with the watch thus far. It's flown by incredibly quick, and it feels like the years are going by faster and faster. I'm sure we will see many new and amazing things popping up in the watch world, but this watch will remain relevant for me due to its classic composition, and I don't see it leaving the collection anytime soon. Let me know what you think about the SPB453. It's been out for some time now, so I'm interested to hear your experience with owning the watch. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more watch content. I'll see you in the next one.